Hello viewers, and welcome to Game Index, the podcast where we delve into video game genres, take a look at their origins, their mechanics and inner workings, and whether or not they're for you. I'm your host, Ethan Monosmith, and today, this episode will be centered around sports games. If you wind up enjoying this podcast, make sure to stay on the lookout for more episodes like this, because they are on the way. Alright, roll the title card, and let's get this show on the road. Let's begin with classifying what exactly a sports game is. Well, you probably already know about modern sports such as basketball, soccer, baseball, that kind of thing. What this genre is all about is taking these sports and converting them into a video game format. It lets even those that are not even up to a physical standard play and enjoy modern sports. Many of these games will also use brands, teams, or players from the real world in the game. There are two main types of sports games. The first has more of an emphasis on playing the sport yourself and winning the game. And the second makes you manage a team or a player and face off against other teams to get in-game money or to compete in some sort of virtual tournament. In short, sports games are all about real-life sports. Alright, now that you know what a sports game is, let's take a look back in time and find out how this genre came to be. Commonly referred to as the first sports game and, coincidentally, one of the first video games ever made, we have Tennis for Two. This was a very, very simple 2D game where two characters would bounce a ball back and forth, trying to get it to land on the other player's side. This game was created all the way back in 1958, which was over 60 years ago. However, a more common example of an early sports game would be the 1979 version of Pong. Most people know about this game, or at least know what it is. This is a video game version of air hockey, and it was quite popular in the 70s. From there, sports games kept changing and evolving to fit newer sports and getting ever more realistic. Moving on, my next segment will be about major mechanics used by these games to add appeal. Keep in mind that sports games try to be as accurate to the real-life sport as possible, so something outlandish or fantastical isn't going to happen in every sports game. One of the more common features in sports games involves controlling multiple characters within your team. Obviously, this would be pretty hard on your own, because unless you have several other friends to play with, you can't really control every player at once. That's why many sports games make you focus on only one player at a time, while the rest of the players on the team are controlled by computers. Take the game Retrobowl, for example. In this football video game, when you snap the ball, you choose where to throw it, while your computer-controlled teammates try to get open for a pass. Once they catch it, you control them instead, and run the ball as far as you can. Meanwhile, in a sports game where the goal is to control a team, the game will usually have a lot of statistics you can look at for each player to find out which ones are the most valuable. And maybe in some cases, synergy is more important than raw strength, so you have to pick the characters that work well for each other, not just on their own. In any case, this mechanic is about keeping you informed and letting you know which players won't let you down. Now this is a more recent one, but some sports games can use motion tracking and sensors to monitor your own body's movement. This can be especially fun in games like Punch-Out Wii, where you hold your controller and take jabs at your virtual opponent in real life. It can even help you exercise in real life. That would definitely surprise someone who says video games is a waste of time. I know it's not exactly the topic for today, but if you want to check out some exercising games, I would recommend something like Ring Fit Adventure or Dance Dance Revolution. So, do you think these games are for you? In my opinion, these games are for those who are competitive and those who enjoy or maybe even participate in sports in real life. These games prioritize teamwork above most other things, but can still be played even if you don't have any friends to team up with. But I personally think that the biggest reason people enjoy sports games is that it lets you do something you may not be able to do in real life. You may never be able to play for the real Dallas Cowboys or drive in a real NASCAR race. But in a sports game, you can do all of those things and more. It's really an awesome thing to think about. Alright, we're almost finished, but before we close out, let's run through a few examples of sports games that you can try. My first example is Rocket League. This is a soccer game at its core, but instead of human players, control a car. Even better than that is the fact that you can fly in the air with nitro boosts. Yes, this game is a bit ridiculous, but it's still a lot of fun. You can play it one-on-one or with a few teammates, and you can even try out ranked mode to test your skills. Another one to check out is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. This game sets you in a more free-form environment where you can use a skateboard to perform crazy stunts, flips, and who knows what else. The goal is to get the highest score via doing these tricks, finding items around the map, and helping out non-player characters. My final suggestion is a little basic, but many people around America and around the world already know about the Madden series. The gameplay here is specifically from Madden 24. These titles recreate American football in a video game format and try to stay as true to real life as possible. You can select teams to face off in an exhibition match, or manage your very own team's season and help them to the playoffs. It's a great series that has succeeded time and time again. Okay, that's a wrap. My episode on sports games has come to a close. I sincerely hope you enjoyed tuning in today to learn a little bit more about your favorite games. We're not done yet though. In next episode, we are taking a dive into horror games. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Thanks for watching the Game Index podcast, and if you want to see more like this, check out other student-created podcasts on the WJHS channel.